Hi, I'm Paweł Spychalski, and first of all, I would like to thank all my Patreon and YouTube supporters for their backing. If you're not one of them, please consider changing that and becoming my Patreon or a YouTube supporter for as little as $2 a month. But now, something like the last year ago, I recorded a video about how drones work, why when you tilt the drone forward, it moves forward, why you tilt it to the left, it moves left. And the title of this video was all about the forces. Because yes, the drones and actually everything airplanes are flying and are controllable in the air thanks to the forces. And in that video, I by purpose omitted how exactly yaw control is working. And one of the questions asked back then was how the hell yaw control is working when all the four motors are in the one plane and it's not tilting, and how if you spin one of the motors it rotates left or right, and how the hell it's keeping the stability, and why the yaw handling is so special. So today let's do the science. Let's do the, I cannot say science beach because I said it. Well, how exactly yaw control work and why some of the propellers are rotating right and why some of the propellers are rotating left. So let me change the camera angle and let's do the science. If somebody asks you how the yaw control on the drone works and you want to play smartass, you can just use one sentence that it's all thanks to the reactive torque. And you are golden, because nobody will even pretend that knows what the reactive torque means. However, if you really do want to understand how the yaw control is working, you have to be aware of two concepts. Concept number one is torque, and the concept number two is the third Newton's law. Let's begin with the force. Force, defined as F, it's the action that one body or something else applies on the second thing. For example, if we have body A, let's call it A, and the body B, and the body A pushes on the body B like that, that means that there is an action between body A to body B, and the body A applies force on the body B. Example, I have a sponge, I have the marker, my hand applies force on the marker, applies action on the marker, so the marker moves forward, and then the marker applies force with some newtons, which is the unit of the force, and as the result the sponge moves as well together with the marker. So this is the concept of the force, and force is measured in newtons. How much is a newton? It's not really important at this moment. The second concept that you have to be aware of is the third Newton's law. And the third Newton's law says that every action has the reaction. If body A applies force on the body B, then this also means that the body B is applying force on the body A, because if I'm pushing marker on my hand, that also means that my hand is pushing on the marker. The hand is stationary, the marker is stationary, they are pushing. I feel the action because my hand starts to hurt and now I have a mark over there. So every action has the reaction with the same value, only acting in the opposite direction. With those two information combined, we can go to the concept of torque and what exactly a torque is. Torque is the equivalent of force when we are talking about the rotational movement. Linear force is simple. We have the force vector with n newtons acting on it. However, if the force will be applied on the rotation, when the point when the force is applied is rotating around the pivot point, yes, on this point there is a force acting in this direction. However, the whole set is under the torque. Torque is the force applied on the point times the distance between the pivot point and let's call it D. I'm not sure if this is the correct unit, but we can just call it D. And torque equals force time distance. And this means the same force, if it's further away from the pivot point, the distance is bigger, has a bigger torque. This will be important in later this video. For now, all you have to remember that torque is the equivalent of force in the rotational movement, and it's measured in Newton meters. And if let's have an example, 1 Newton is acting at the distance on 1 meter from the pivot point, that means it's generating 1 Newton meter. However, if we will be having 1 meter acting on the distance of 2 meters from the pivot point, then the total torque is how much? 2 Newton meters. The further away from the rotation point is applied, then the torque is higher. And if there is a torque acting, for example, this direction, there is a rotational torque from the third Newton's law acting in the opposite direction. We have force acting over here. There is also force in terms of torque acting in the opposite direction, when we remember that this is the rotational movement around pivot point. So this is the theory. And how does it work in the real life on the quadcopter? Quite similar. Let's quickly make a sketch of the multirotor drone with 4 motors, 4 propellers rotating in the directions they are usually rotating. This is kind of important. This is by the way, this is why we have 2 motors rotating this direction and 2 rotating this direction, so that the torques and the reactive torques counteract each other. So this motor is rotating and propeller rotating in this direction. This one is this direction, this one in this one, and this one in this one. This also means that this motor is rotating in exactly the same direction than this motor. Number 2 and number 3 are rotating like that, while number 1 and number 4 are rotating like that. You see, the arrow may be placed on the upper here on the lower side, but if we're gonna transfer, you see, they are rotating in the opposite direction. And now, what makes the yaw work? It's the torque and the, of course, reactive torque. Let's say somewhere here we have the center of the mass of our quad, because also something you have to remember, bodies always want to rotate around its center of mass. It can rotate around something else, but then you require extra force to keep it rotating. When you are rotating around the center of mass, it's most efficient because you do not need extra forces. So, motor is rotating this direction. That means that the motor is generating torque directed in this direction. What do we know about the torque and the rotation? Each action has the reaction. So, on top of the torque, because the propeller is rotating this direction, we have the reactive torque rotating in this direction. What happens? And of course, we have exactly the same situation. Blue is the reactive torque and the red one is torque used to generate thrust. What happens when this vector of force, this torque, is higher than this one? Guess what? The whole quad starts to rotate. In which direction? Of course, in this direction, because this force, this torque, is higher than this one. If, however, those propellers and this propeller combine, because we have to combine this one and this one, if those two would be rotating faster than those two, in which direction we would be rotating? Of course, in this one, because this one would have higher reactive torque combined with this one than this reactive torque on this motor plus reactive torque on this motor. And this is more or less how this thing is working. The last detail is why, for example, because some smart person might ask, but okay, but what with the case that if we check on this point, the force is exactly in the same direction as this one, so it has to be, because this is what the forces are, and this probably is the first, second, one of the Newton's laws, it doesn't matter. Why? Even when this one is generating, by rotating faster, is generating more force that allows everything to rotate in this direction. Torque. One more time, differential torque, because if this force is equal to this force, then if we take a consideration that this one's between the points where the force is applied to the center of rotation, which is, by the way, the center of mass, then the torque generated on the whole quad by this force acting in this direction is higher. So the torque that forces all the setup to move this way is stronger than the opposite one. Okay, I hope that at this point you are still following me. Let's assume so, and I was not babbling too much. Now, this also means that your control is slightly different than, well, everything else. Because the yaw control is not only about how much torque a motor can deliver, but also about the fact how fast the motor can start delivering the torque, and how much the motor can stop delivering the torque, and what's the difference between combined torques of the motors. Because imagine, if we want to start rotating right, so this motor and this motor have to start spinning faster, because spinning faster usually means that there is more torque generated, and it's a nice simplification. So this two and this two has to work faster. If those two would not slow down, start to brake, actively brake their rotation, that means that total force, total thrust generated by 4 motors would be higher than the force required to keep the drone in the air, and as the result the drone would start gaining altitude. This is exactly why very often when you apply a yaw movement on, especially rapid yaw movement on the sticks, the drone changes altitude, because you are requiring more than the motors can deliver. While those two, we are still talking about rotating right. Those two, yes, they start rotating faster as those two, but those two has to slow down fast enough so that the combined force from all the thrust from the all 4 motor propellers combos is still the same. It also means that back in the days when and there was no active braking, damped light, the yaw control was very limited, and with the weaker motors there were smaller differences that drone could achieve between the torques on different parts. And back in the days the yaw control was always a huge pain in the ass. It was always worse than the roll and pitch control, and this is one of the reasons that we have, or had, because they are dead, tricopters. Because tricopters work in a completely different way. They are just tilting one of the motors to have the forces responsible for yawing. But with the stronger motors, better propellers, better ESCs that can not only quickly accelerate the propeller but also decelerate the propeller and lower the torque generated by the motor, not only we have greater torque differences on different motors, but also the acceleration of the changing of the torque difference is higher than years ago. And this is more or less why in nowadays the tricopters makes no sense, because our motors, propellers and ESCs are powerful enough to have good enough response on the yaw axis. And I think that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Until the next one. Bye bye.